Good morning. How are you? My goodness, happy Tuesday. Have you noticed like a week goes by so quick? If you have something going on during the week, like every Wednesday, you go to yoga, or every Friday or Saturday, my sister goes to Pilates. So it's just interesting, isn't it? Like you look forward to something and the rest of the days go really quick. I just find that always interesting. Uh, Welcome. This is Mary Rose. Coffee with Mary Rose Medium. Just Mare, please. I am really excited to talk with you today. First of all, YouTube was not working right away, so I don't know what happened. We're about a minute late. I apologize. I will also tell you straight up that I will never reach out to you for sessions or telling you you have to talk to me or anything like that. I will never do that. So if something is in your inbox, that is definitely spam. This is the only platform I will use right now to go live. And if you ever need to connect, you connect with me. I don't ever go to you, I promise. So, again, welcome and hello. There's a few things we're going to talk about today. Basically, what happens when the bowl stops, when the song bowl ends, even when yoga is done and you leave the mat and you head home. That's the things that we're going to be talking about today. And I'm just going to set up a little bit better here for myself because I had to rearrange a few things to get YouTube to work. And I always have my first sip of coffee with you on a Tuesday. So happy Tuesday, everyone. So I am wearing today, every week I wear a new bathrobe. I'm sorry, I'm a bathrobe girl. Some are shoe girls, I'm a bathrobe girl. But today, the bathrobe that I'm actually wearing came from my friend Lisa. So, Lisa, if you're watching, I know you're probably working right now, but I think you still listen from what you tell me. This is your bathrobe, and thank you so much for this. We had gone shopping. She had stopped in. She visited for a weekend, and she surprised me with this. We got out to the car and she's like, here. And she hands me this bag. And this is really cool bathrobe. It's super, super soft too, just so you know. So hold on. YouTube is giving me a notification. I want to make sure everything is good here. All right. Making sure. All right. There we go. All right. Yes. So good morning. All right. First step. Here we go. There's nothing like that first sip of coffee. Make sure you can hear me okay because I'm using the microphone that's all hooked in. And like I said, this was not cooperating so much with me. So hopefully we're on the mend now. All right. So this whole idea of raising your vibration, you've probably seen it. You've probably read about it. Raise your vibration, raise your frequency, get yourself to a higher vibration. There are programs that you can buy that teach you how to do it, and that's what sparked this conversation for me. Is about a week and a half ago, I saw something where they're like, I think it was like thousands of dollars. If you buy this, we will raise your frequency. It's proven to raise your vibrations, and I'm always looking out for all of us. And I was like, that's a no. So here's some things that I've been thinking about. So I absolutely believe in vibration. Let's just start there. Sound vibrates, a guitar string vibrates, machines vibrates, our voice create vibrations. There are all kinds of things in the physical world where like frequency and energy can actually be measured, all sorts of things. So I'm not saying vibration isn't real. What I am saying is I'm not sure we've made the leap from physical vibration to Mary's spiritual vibration is now 600 instead of 300, especially after she did this $3,000 program. So, because what is that meter? Like, show me the meter. I want to see that meter. Because science does not currently establish that buying a particular object, a crystal, a frequency device, clothing item, etc., literally raises a person's vibrational frequency. There is not a scientific validated measurement of a person's spiritual vibration in that sense. What is scientifically proven? So something that, does make sense completely. Is it the idea that your emotional and physiological state can change during song bowls and during yoga and just during prayer and during peace? Of course. It's the feeling of safe and peacefulness. It's reducing your stress. It's gratitude. It's connecting with other people, enjoying music, again, meditation, prayer, time in nature. That's a huge one. Exercise, adequate sleep. I laugh because I don't always get that. I try. Doing something really meaningful for someone, that feeling of just, it's like, wow, that felt great. I want to do that again. So, all of these things can influence the measurable things like stress hormones, your heart rate, your nervous system activity, your mood, even your attention. So maybe raising your vibration isn't about buying something that vibrates at a higher frequency. Maybe it's about becoming a person who is less governed by fear, anger, resentment, anxiety, and more grounded in peace and love and gratitude and connection with each other. So peaceful equals high vibration is in itself a scientific claim, but science can study the effects of peaceful emotional states. It doesn't scientifically rate emotions or rank them, as high or low vibrations, because vibration is a metaphor for how we feel and, quite frankly, how we move through the world. So if I tell you, and I've done this with some of you, you're going to see yellow Jeep today. What happens? You're going to see yellow Jeeps everywhere. Did the world suddenly fill up with yellow Jeeps? No. Your brain simply started paying attention to them. And I think it's something similar happens when we're told you're raising your vibration. Suddenly we're looking for evidence that we're doing it. I feel lighter today. I saw a butterfly. Someone smiled at me out of nowhere. I had a good day. And all these things are great. Obviously, these are wonderful things. But we have to be careful about confusing our experience with scientific proof of what caused it. So I want to be also really fair. I don't want to dismiss the experience because I've done sound baths and crystal bowls and I freaking love it. I've laid down on the mat and I've listened to them. I have them. I find them incredibly peaceful. I have sing-sings where you clap them. I should have brought them over with me. You just listen until the sound and the vibration goes away. And during that period of time, what happens is, I stop. Nobody needed anything from me. I wasn't answering a phone. I wasn't thinking about my grocery list. I wasn't worrying about yesterday or tomorrow. I was just lying there and just listening to the absolutely beautiful sounds that it makes. And maybe that's why it works. Maybe the sound or maybe a crystal bowl isn't raising my scientific vibration, but maybe it's giving me permission to become quiet enough to find my peace. And there's a big difference. And that made me think about yoga. I love yoga. I have no problem with yoga. I do yoga once a week myself on Sundays. But I've always thought there was something interesting about the idea of going to yoga for an hour. And then if I go back to chaos, I spend an hour breathing and I'm stretching and I'm centered and I feel peaceful. And then, you get in your car and somebody cuts you off and you're screaming at them, whatever you say when you're yelling, when someone cuts you off, if you're even yelling. So what happened? Like, did my vibration drop or did I simply return to the life I haven't changed? Really big difference there because I think maybe sometimes we use these practices, all of them. Of course we do. Even prayer is it kind of an escape from chaos rather than a way to learn how to live differently within chaos or maybe to get out of chaos. Even as I said, prayer, Lord, please just get me out of this. Lord, get me out of this. The whole time God's like, I've been trying to do this. When are you going to move? You have to meet me halfway. And I feel the same thing with, yoga and all that. There's a book that I had read. I think it's over here. Yeah, it is. There it is. It's right here. Living Your Yoga, Finding the Spiritual in Everyday Life by Judith Hanson Lassiter, PhD. Great book. I love it. But as she said, you have to live a yoga life if you're doing yoga, if you're practicing that. As a Christian, got to live a Christian life. You know, you got to love, you've got to see all sides, and you have to pray about it and move with what you're feeling after prayer. Reading the word and understanding and emulating who Jesus was. That's, to me, what the overall being of Christian is. Same thing with Jewish practices, you know, be that. So many of us. But if you do yoga, you should live a yoga life. Not every minute doing yoga, it means, but you have to take some of what you learned into your actual life. So that's where I struggle about this $3,000 program, even a $200 program or $500 program that says it's going to raise your vibration. And I take the program and I feel wonderful. And I'm not going to tell that person that I didn't have a wonderful experience, because maybe I did. Maybe I did the meditation. Maybe I did slow down, of course. But then finally, you know, like after spending some time thinking about yourself and maybe being encouraged by a few things, you know, those are very valuable things, right? But then I go home and I'm still living in chaos. Maybe I'm in the same toxic relationship. Maybe I'm still angry about something. I'm still fearful. I'm still resentment. I still have these habits that aren't good for me. Then, you know, eventually I'm probably going to end up right back where I started. And it's like a boomerang, you know, you go to yoga or you go crystal bowls or you take a class or you do certain things. You have to close that loop. As I always tell my girls, close the loop, full circle, keep going all the way around it. It's not going to be fast sometimes, but just go in that direction. So that's what I've been thinking about lately, you know, and of course, music, that's such a real thing too. Again, it just, you know, you hear a song that you heard playing 30 years ago, maybe, you know, when I was in high school, and it just instantly makes you feel so good. It brings you back there, reminds you of, you know, that person. And it also reminds you of who you are today, which should be a really great thing. You're here. Not everybody is allowed to be at this age, at this level. You know, I always say life is like a video game, isn't it? You know, every level there's new colors and new people and new experiences, and you just can't wait to get to the next level. And again, more colors, more experiences, more people. And you just never know what level you're going to be at. So you just really want to be happy today. And when you get off that mat of yoga, you know, carry that into your life as well. And again, songs, they're just so great. They attribute us to, you know, wonderful, wonderful things. So maybe I might be the only one looking at this differently. Maybe I don't need to raise my vibration like in a scientific way. There's no meter for that again, but maybe I just need to find peace, you know, and then figure out how to keep that peace within me when I leave that room, whatever that room might be for you. Even church, when you leave, take what you just learned, think about it, you know, pray on it, bathe in it, marinate in it. So, what happens when the bowl stops? And that's what I wanted to know your feelings about. What happens when life gets loud, when the bills come in, you know, when the baby's crying, when you have to make dinner and there might not be enough food? What happens when someone hurts your feelings, when love disappoints you, you know, when your phone rings? What are you feeling? All of these things. Because obviously, meditation is wonderful. Yoga is wonderful. Prayer is the best. Sound baths, crystal bowls are fantastic. Do those things. Music, listen to music. Walk on the beach, my favorite. It's just wonderful. Sitting quietly is really wonderful too. Just take the peace. So I'm not telling you your experience isn't real, just questioning the language that sometimes we put around it. You know, because there's a difference between this makes me feel peaceful and saying this scientifically raised my vibration, because I think we really should know the difference. So again, that's what I've been thinking about. Maybe we're all chasing this idea of becoming a higher version of ourselves, and that's beautiful because we don't need maybe to become higher, but maybe we just need to become quieter, right? More present, stop living in so much chaos. Maybe we need to leave something that hurts us. Maybe we need to sit long enough to hear our own thoughts. It's a big one. Maybe we need to pray. Maybe we need to go outside. Maybe we need to put our phones down, not have the blinking lights constantly on us, And maybe we just need to find peace and then take it with us when the bull stops or when we leave that room. And that's my thoughts. So now I want to hear your thoughts. Tell me what you're thinking. I'd love to know. And if anyone has any questions, please, you can ask them right here. If you're listening to me on Spotify or on Apple Music later and you have a question, email me, maryrosemedium@yahoo.com, and I will definitely answer it live the following Tuesday, I promise. I love answering your questions. I love connecting with you. So, Marissa, hello, good morning. Marissa says, music is my thing. It focuses me. That's just it, isn't it? It focuses, like, boom, right there. I have a lot of people who, of course, love to meditate, and they tell me about meditation and different practices that do. One thing I've noticed is we do just as a collective, not everybody, we meditate better when there's no lyrics involved. Because when the lyrics involved, we're almost thinking of the next lyric or what the last lyric was or what that really means. Maybe it means something different every time, and a lot of times it does. But without the lyrics, it's just the music, and it's just this. It's like warm water, isn't it? Just sort of like, dripping over us. It feels so wonderful. So yeah, music, that's for sure. Music, obviously, has always been my thing too. I mean, I love yoga. I love yoga. Crystal bowls, the best. I still have Lori Baracco from the Mystical Moon did a CD a few years ago, and when I was working there, I bought the CD, and I still listen to the CD. I just put it on and walk around the house listening to that music, or the sounds, that is, of the crystal bowls. There's just something about it. Again, it just hits deeper. It just reminds you of things. Again, I don't believe, and scientifically it's not proven, that it raised my vibration and now I'm in this higher state that I'm going to stay at. No, that's up to me to take that and to just continue on in my life. I really try to do that. I'm human too, man. We all struggle, but then we have to get back up, and that's the thing. It's like working out lately. I work out during the week. Saturdays I do Pilates, and on Sunday I do yoga. Pilates, by the way, if you've ever done it, I give you tons of credit. It's really hard for me to do. That means I need to do it, right? So it's pretty cool. But yoga on Sunday just relaxes me. I like to do it more in the evening so I can really just rest in that peace. But it's the days that I don't want to go over, or the days I'm tired or I'm busy, I still say to myself, I have to get over there. Even if I go over for 5 minutes, it's a win. And I think it's the same thing, with all of this. There's times that we're going to feel our vibration, so to speak, is feeling, we're rising. We're feeling really good. Our soul is lifting. We're feeling peace. We're in this amazing state, and we want to stay there, but don't feel bad if it goes down once in a while. If someone cuts you off and you give them a word, you shouldn't, but it happens. It's just, we're human. It happens. These things happen. But it doesn't mean I'm all done. No, it means I'm going to try again tomorrow. I'm going to get back there again. And I think that's the beauty in all of this. It's repetition. It really is just repetition. So those are my thoughts today. And I appreciate all of you listening. I appreciate you booking sessions with me this week. I'm excited to get going again. You know, I I am proud of this community that we're building here together. I am very proud of each of you for just being really resilient. Every time I talk to any of you, there's this love and beauty and this resilience that, like, you can feel, you know? You can feel energy. You can feel that stuff. You can feel when someone is sad, and every time I speak to any of you, it's a God gift of just knowing how well you are and that you're trying right along with me. And I appreciate you. And I want you to be really proud of yourself today too. So I'm also curious, tell me later in the comments what you're doing today to find peace yourself. How are you spiritually raising that is your spiritual vibration today? Tell me what you're doing. And maybe there's some really cool ideas out there that I haven't thought of and that maybe others haven't thought of either. So let's find out what those are and put those in the comments and let's all try them to the best of our ability. Let's try. If you can't get to a beach, maybe there's a pond near you. Maybe there's a lake near you. If you don't have a means of listening to music, hum. Did you know when you hum, you can't think of anything else? Try that today. It's pretty, as we would say, it's pretty wicked. It's great. So just try certain things to see how you feel and to find peace, but also have that life that's not afraid. Have the life that is aware, but doesn't bring you down. And remember, God really is in charge, and just take really, really good care of yourself, okay? I'm going to finish my coffee. I hope yours is well. Hope it tastes great. And I will see all of you soon, okay? Remember, Tuesdays I talk, Wednesdays I write. So my newsletter will be out in the morning. I hope you enjoy it. And check out my website, maryrosemedium.com. There's so much on my website. In fact, there's a candle on the website. I don't know if anyone ever noticed. If you click that candle, you can watch it flicker for a little bit and it should calm you. There's all sorts of purposeful things on my site. They're like little Easter eggs. So check it out. And if you want to book a session, I do believe I have 3, I think, left today. I think I'm pretty open tomorrow. Just trying to think off the top of my head, but you'll see if you go there. So thank you so much. And God bless you. All right. There it is. Have a great Tuesday.